Around here we have a saying of Tigers by 90.
Okay, well, I don't know if I really have the true story, but I think it was my freshman year. We were going up to play, I think it was Ridgewood in regionals, and Reed Carrico was still in high school, and his brother was pumped for the game, Garrett, and I got shown a video of him just going crazy in his car driving up to the game.
Hello, this is Garrett Carrico, and I'm hosting the Saturday Night Football pregame show. Go Tigers! Tigers by 90!
It was coined by Garrett Carrico a few years ago, and just kind of talks about, the mindset that we have and the way that we want to beat teams, and our purpose going out every Friday or Saturday night.
And he was yelling, and then he ended it with Tigers by 90, and then it really stuck. Like, then it really kind of blew up.
Tigers by 90! Yeah!
We've got the whole cast of characters in here. What are you seeing on film that you think you can have some success?
Well, we've been watching film all week, and we know we got to stop one guy, and we know the plays and everything. So, and their defense is very weak. We think we can put up 100 on them. So that's the goal tonight, I think.
Well, yeah, we had the Fired Up Friday that day, and so we were up pretty early in the morning, and we were all just like gassed up with energy. It was crazy, and the gym was insane. It was so loud. And then Joseph Payton, we went over there for their interview, and honestly, I don't even remember saying it because I was just so hyped up, and it was so loud in there at the time. I don't know, I just said what was on my mind and really our goal was, we want to win every game by, that much. But yeah, I ended up just saying it, and I didn't even realize till, I can't remember who it was, they pulled me aside and showed me it was already on Facebook, like people were already making those memes or whatever. So yeah, once I saw that, and I was like, oh wow, and then people actually liked it, so I just kind of got the trademark Mr. 100 or whatever.
Ironton is known for great rivalries, obviously, and I think the one that sticks out the most to people is probably the Portsmouth rivalry, second oldest rivalry in the state of Ohio. It's been played for a long time, and there's no love lost between either place. We also have the likes of Ashland, a longtime rival of ours. Wheelersburg's been kind of a modern day rival. The forgotten one a little bit was the series that we had there with Cape and the battles that we had back and forth, but like all great rivalries, they all got to start somewhere. And here at Ironton, ours started with Marshall in 1895. It was Thanksgiving Day, and the game was played to a score of 0-0.
Well, Ironton does have a great history with Marshall University. They actually played back in 1912. A.B. Corey was the coach at Ironton at the time, and they played Marshall College and lost that game, I think it was 45-0. And then they beat the Marshall Reserves that same year. So they did play Marshall a couple of times. They played the next, I think a couple of years later, against Marshall College again. So there's a little history of Marshall as a college. Of course, they weren't as big as they are now as a university, playing Ironton High School, which is pretty cool.
Throughout this rivalry, Ironton and Marshall faced off 14 times between 1895 and 1916. And ironically, the last edition of this rivalry with Marshall in 1916 on September 30th, the Tigers won by 100 points. Final score of 100-0, allowing only one first down throughout the game.
In fact, in 1916, Ironton had its biggest margin of defeat of anybody they've played when they played Marshall and beat them 100-0. 100-0 back in 1916. It's a lot of points.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's pretty short and sweet, just winning by 100, much joy in IHS. I'd probably add a little bit more to that to describe that, winning by 100, but yeah, it's crazy.
During this 100-0 game, our captain was none other than Shorty Davies, former Ironton football player, former Ironton Tanks football player, and former Ironton High School head coach, who is now a member of our Hall of Fame.
Ever since I was a young man, my father and I talked about Ironton sports. He always mentioned Shorty Davies and what a great athlete he was even when he was growing up. I know he was possessed with great speed, and he and some of the Ironton High School teammates went down to Cincinnati, and they won the tri-state track meet between Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky. He also had great speed on the football field. It was evident in that he was known as the touchdown maker for Ironton High School. He was a wizard with the ball. He was a magician. These are terms that his contemporaries used to describe Shorty on the football field. He went on to play at Ohio State. He was on the first team that Ohio State ever had to beat Michigan, and he played defensive back in that game. So certainly, Shorty was on that team for Ironton High School that went up to Marshall and scored 100 on the Marshall JV. So Shorty was certainly one of the greatest athletes ever to come through Ironton High School. He also then went on after his college career to come back to not only coach but also play for the Ironton Tanks, and had a great impact on the Ironton Tanks becoming the great team they were in the early 1920s.
It's football time in Tigertown. Tigers by 100.
And as always, Tigers by 100.
Tigers by 100.